Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny De Lillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Eduardo and Jesse and Wayne and Eduardo the Fourth with their movie Soledad. Let's take a look at a clip.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Victor. I will be your...
Raquel? Preston isn't here.
Preston's not here?
No. Preston's not here. It's just the, driver.
Guys and babies, it's great to have you here in the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Listen, last night was just a great success with Soledad. Such a great response, but for those who haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Yeah. Soledad is about an isolated limousine driver named Victor who lives a very lonely life, and one evening he's forced to defend a client from being sexually assaulted by her prom date. And as a result, it sets off a series of events that kind of brings up a lot of issues from his past that he's been trying to get away from. And but you know, through the course of the evening, they kind of a Beauty and the Beast scenario happens where two people that would normally be hanging out become really good friends. So there's some suspense to it, some thriller aspect, but for the most part, it's almost like a buddy film between the two main characters. We like to say it's Taxi Driver if John Hughes remade it.
There's the quote.
Yeah,
I like it.
there you go.
You know, where was kind of like, I mean, this was a really interesting subject, and you had some really great acting performances as well. But where was your inspiration for writing this film?
This man right here.
Yeah.
I mean, this story is ultimately it's a love letter to him, to our friendship. But I mean, going back 20 years, we all met through this speech, and it's called High School Forensics, and we did that for a number of years. We had a lot of success doing that. In college, we won some national titles and decided to make the move out to LA to kind of pursue the next level of what we felt was the art of performance. And then somewhere along the lines, you know, life took us a different way, and you know, Jesse ended up moving to Bakersfield. He runs an organization called Youth Quest. It helps out disadvantaged kids that are abandoned by their parents but supported by the state. And then my life kind of, you know, traveled and ended up in advertising. And it was a couple of years ago, we took our daughters on a camping trip. And in that trip, we were just kind of reflecting, like, man, like, you know, 20 years have gone by, and we came out here to do something, and we didn't do it, but we have love for it. Like, we love movies, we love quoting lines, we love living lines. I mean, there's a certain part of, I think, in reality that blurs with the characters that we've seen throughout the years, yet we've done nothing. So at that point, it was like, you know what? We just made the conscious decision that we're gonna do it, and for a number of reasons. I mean, one of which is the fact that, I mean, it's in my belief, wholeheartedly, that this man's destiny is to live his life like as a leading Latino actor in film today. I believe he has that talent. He has that charisma. People respond that way to him. You know?
I'm really happy you said that, because that was bringing on to my next question. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, Jesse, it's not only would you play a wonderful played wonderfully the role of the character that you did, and did it so amazing. I mean, I just wanted to watch you throughout the whole film. But also, I think something that you have as well, which is incredible, what you mentioned, is, you know, you're a great role model, because, you know, you actually, not only are you a fantastic lead actor, but you also, you know, help kids. And, you know, I think in the entertainment industry, it's a really important factor to be, you know, a good role model in all aspects. But what was it like playing this role for you?
Well, I mean, I've never been to jail before, so I don't want to spoil you know,
learning curve.
A mysterious part of the movie. But just, you know, kind of living the life of an introvert, yet, you know, a man who has a mystery behind him, but yet he wants to say things, and he doesn't say them with words. Sometimes he'll say them with his face and expressions. That type of acting is very powerful, like those Pacino eyes, where you don't have to say nothing. You know, Betty Davis or something.
Yeah.
So I think that's what attracted me most to Victor.
Yeah.
And how he lives his life.
No, and also the rest of the cast, you had, you know, some young cast members in there as well.
Yeah.
How was that casting process for you?
Oh, it was magical. Like, I mean, you know what? Building not just the cast, but the crew too. It was like, I mean, I really am a firm believer in destiny, and that we live it, and that there's no mistakes, you know. And ultimately, like, in the process of of writing to putting together our crew to casting, like we just came across people randomly, like at a bar, talking about what music was on, like the presets, and the guy's like, "Oh man, I love the presets. I'm from Australia. My man, that blah blah. What are you doing out here in LA? I want to compose movies. Well, I'm writing a movie. Do you want to compose my movie?" And the dude ended up composing the most, what I feel is the most amazing score.
That's how it happened.
That's just, it was a series of those events that our whole team came together, and it was just like that all the way, and it never stopped. Ever.
That's amazing. I mean, it was a great ensemble cast. And look, you can always tell that you guys look like you had a great chemistry and connection together, which is brilliant. Kind of, I mean, again, the subject is such an interesting one, and that's why your character is so fascinating. But what would you kind of want? What did you want from your audience to kind of get from Soledad? Like, what kind of morality, or what audience reaction have you kind of got so far?
Well, we've gotten lots of different reactions. You know, last night in particular, we had a lot of people that wanted a sequel. You know, and I thought that was sweet. It just means that, you know, like you said earlier, it means, you know, they liked it, they had something invested, they want to see more, and that's great. You know, I'm hoping they want to see more from this guy, from all of us. You know,
this guy maybe.
And this guy
too,
particularly, man, he's going to be a film genius. You know,
this is our youngest new filmmaker, and
that's right. And
there's always a bit of extra added admiration when you know, you're making films and having babies at the same time.
Oh man, yeah.
You know?
This film definitely was our baby, you know, and I hope that, like, you know, we can, and I believe we can continue to make more films, but like with these sort of characters, you know, like these silent heroes that go amidst every day. I mean, they walk amongst us, and I find those people fascinating. I'll go to a restaurant, I'll watch that busboy, and I'll look at his belt buckle, and I'll see this, you know, the Manny used to work with Wayne. Like, I find those sort of characters fascinating, and hopefully, you know, God willing, I can continue the rest of my life to tell stories about these guys that I really feel like are layered and complex. And at the beginning, you know, you just see this limo driver, but at the end, you know what I mean? I don't know if you get that too, like at the beginning and at the end.
And then,
it's the same thing. It's you know what I mean? It's essentially our bookmark. You know what I mean? This guy's free in the back of this bus, but completely, like, I mean, he's isolated. He's in his own prison, and at the end, you know, he's in the same place, but he's completely free.
Completely different.
You know?
I was a bartender for a long time, and there was a bar back I worked with for 4.5 years named Manny, and the dude was just like a worker, and I'm one of those that, like, if you're gonna work hard for me, I'm gonna work hard for you, because you know, a lot of people say they're gonna do something and they never get to it, but this guy for 4 years never stopped, and it inspired me to work harder and to do my job better. And you know, Jesse's like that. He's one of those guys. He's not a braggart. He's not you know, trying to get attention for himself. But when you know him, you realize all these amazing things that he does. And he's just, by being a good person, he's an example, you know, for everybody. And you know, part of that major the confrontation scene, he has a bit of a speech that, you know, that these two like came up with. Mostly, you know, Jesse was on his chair and he was writing it down, and they gave it to me the next day, and I read it, and I was just like, whoa, okay, we're gonna go there. All right, nice, you know, and it really provided something that was really missing from that scene. You know, a real anchor to his heart, and it's great. You know?
Well, I want to keep seeing you more stuff, Jesse. Seriously. What would you say? I mean, you did make it look very easy, but what was your biggest challenge making this film?
I know it sounds canned, but like everything was a challenge. Like every step in the way, it's you know, you're walking around a dark hallway with a flashlight and the batteries are running out because you're just trying to find your way to the destination, and you know, whenever you're hitting walls, there's always a way to solve them. Always. Usually the internet will provide if you take the time, look into it, ask questions. You know, but every single step I thought was hard. It wasn't hard as in like horrible, but it was difficult, and you earned your keep, you know.
Well, and you co-wrote it and directed it as well, and produced it and the whole thing.
Everything.
So, having said that, and all the hard work that you did put in, what is it like after everything that you've done to then have your film like officially selected for NewFilmmakers Los Angeles?
Oh man, that was great. I mean, it was a real blessing. I mean, we've been blessed and fortunate to be able to travel the film throughout different cities, and the blessing is to be able to see it with audiences and really get their reaction, and there's nothing like that. Like, you can talk for years and years about making films, and you can be behind the computer and looking at the page and just imagining what that you think it's gonna be, but it's not until, you know, you're in a room at the Man Chinese or at the AT&T Center with 500 people, and Jesse's pulling off this belt, whipping the shit out of this kid. I remember writing that on page 30, and people are like, you know,
you know,
it's great. You know what I mean? It's addicting.
Yeah, it is. It's a great rush.
Well, I mean, it's well deserved, and obviously films are there to be seen, and you know, but it's great when you get recognized for all the hard work that you guys have done. Now, you guys have been friends for 20 years, so I'm sure you're not going to just leave the project and never see each other again.
No.
But what is next for you guys individually or together?
Probably more kind of going our own routes in different angles. You know, I've got a couple scripts that I've been working on. One that's finished that I've been showing a few people. One that's almost done, and they're the complete polar opposites of this. They're like sci-fi. And, you know, and they're big budgets. You know, 25 million, probably 40 million. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the way I dream. You know, my dream theater in my head is very big, and I've got a
we
ton
must
of
dream,
screenplays.
right? Yeah.
Have to dream.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really looking forward to Star Wars. You know much about me. I'm really pumped for that. I've already bought my ticket. You know, so I'm kind of in that realm. I like all filmmaking, and I think I have something to offer in all directions, because ultimately you want to find the truth. Even in the bigger sci-fi stories, if you don't have an emotional truth or an emotional heart to it, there's really no point to be telling your story. So I think I have something to offer in all areas, but that's my interest.
There's your film tip of the day, people. Jesse, how about you, Jesse?
Just, you know, continue to push my work and, you know, try to get, you know, my work out there and work with the crazy kids at the group home and, you know, keep myself busy.
And get representation. We need to get them representation.
Hello, people.
Yes, hello.
Everybody watching.
The whole reason we made this whole thing is so this guy can live this out.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's the best. No one will give you more. This guy's the best. And if you don't use him, I'm gonna use him, because he's my whole next thing is for him.
How about you, Eduardo?
I'm halfway through my next feature, and I'm really excited about it. I really feel like it's the story I was born to tell.
Yeah.
Like I really like, after everything we went through on this thing, I mean, it was a lot of, I mean, there was, to getting the money, to writing the script, to concept, to putting it, like, to everything, to down to the end where, you know, Wayne and I are having to make creative decisions, and, you know, it's, you have to be willing to, like, die to tell these things, you know? And I realized along the way that, like, how long it takes.
Great, you're
like,
just so passionate about it, and I think that really shows in the work. Now, is there any little Eduardo the Fourth, little maybe possibility, little cameos? Yeah, that was a big smile. I think that was a yes, actually.
I think I'm working on something in my shorts.
I
right
have
now.
to say, in New Filmmakers history, in New Filmmakers history, this is the most well-behaved guest we've had on. No jumping on sofas, Tom Cruise. It's been fantastic. So, listen, Soledad was brilliant, and we all really enjoy it. Congratulations on being selected, and thank you for coming down.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you to New Filmmakers. Thank you.